Good evening, folks. This is K5LYN. My name's Lynn. Anybody need this frequency for any kind of emergency use? Hearing nothing, we get together here on Wednesday evenings and talk about the early days of single sideband. Tonight I happen to be on a combination of ingredients that goes all the way back to 1948 when Collins released their first permeability-tuned oscillator, VFO, in the Collins 310B. And they built that for their AM rigs at that time, and I thought it might be a good stable VFO to try with the vintage sideband rig, so I got a Heathkit SB10 sideband adapter from the late 1950s. And that was something, kind of a primitive instrument that Heath put out that you could convert your existing AM to a basic form of single sideband. And I converted a DX60 to single sideband with it. That's a Heathkit novice rig from that era. That DX60 then is driving my Collins 30L1 to about 500 watts actually. The carrier suppression's not all that great on this. The single sideband suppression's not all that good. I like to compare it to a 59 Studebaker because it wasn't the best thing around, but it would get you where you're going. I'm going to talk to 10, 12 people, and we'll see what else we can do with Jay and Rusty taking check-ins. Buy-sell trades are appropriate if they are vintage radio, and technical questions are always welcome here. TXW, George, talk to us, K5LYN.
Hello, Lynn, and all around the net, WB5TXW, and my own frequency, more or less, Lynn, over.
It'll work just fine, George.
Good enough. Well, I'm endeavoring to lay off of the flying saucer trick because I think that's a little bit over obsessive, and I'll just ask questions. Am I in frequency? Am I in frequency? Like the rest of everybody does. So anyway, of course, I'm on the S-line 32, S175, S330, L1. Sure 444. The antenna out in the side yard, Lynn, that you know, and God, I love summer, Lynn, over.
You can have it. I'll take winter.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting. I'm like most humans. I guess I like whatever it isn't, but heat is not neat. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. WB5TXW back to net.
That station sounded great. We got something right when we did that. Good to hear you, George. KC5L. Hey, Tom, you down there somewhere? K5LYN.
Hey, good evening, Lynn, at the Boat Anchors Net. This is Tom, KC5L in San Antonio. And tonight we're talking on the Central Electronics 200B and driving the 600L, doing about 300 watts into a balanced line tuner, homebrew open wire line, and a homebrew doublet of about 15 feet. Microphone is a D104A. D104, and we're listening on an R390A. And that's it for here. Back to you, Lynn, KC5L.
Tom, your Central Electronics is always as good as it gets. You may need to expand that, get into a 20A or something like that one of these days.
Well, might do that one of these days. Right now I'm kind of settled on what I have here, but that's definitely a thought. If Belt comes back to life and we happen to see one that looks really nice, we might just pick it up and maybe one day get it on the air.
Yeah, because you've done beautiful work with that station. It's great. All right, we can visit about that down the road. Good to hear you, Tom. Anything else for the net this evening?
No, that's it. I do have a picture of it all up on QRZ if anyone's interested. But that's it. Back to you.
Spectacular. All right, let's talk to Gonzalez. What do you say, Denver? OJB, talk to us.
All right, then, Lynn, this is N5OJB, Denver in Gonzales, Texas. And I'm using the same old stuff, the 820 and the NCL 2000 into the fan dipoles out there. And I'm using a Shure, I think this thing's an 87 or 57 or something like that, stage mic on this radio. I've MC'd on them many a time, and everybody says they sounded good on stage, and I haven't had any complaints about it on the radio, so I'm leaving it alone. Back to you, Lynn.
Spectacular, Denver. Beautiful audio. Anything else for the group this evening?
Oh, no, nothing that I can come up with. I'm the weakest station in the nation, so let me get out of here where you can get them strong people in.
No, you're right here in the room with me, Denver. It couldn't be any better. All right, moving on. Hey, Henry, HHW, you still hanging around over there somewhere?
Yeah, I'm sitting right here, W5HHW. We're still talking on the OTS 900 Kenwood and running about 250 watts out to inverted V. And that's about it. Just nothing unusual. Same old. Good afternoon to everybody on the net. Hope everybody has a real good afternoon. And everybody's sounding good, and back to the net.
Hey, you know, that was, when that radio came out, Henry, I was too busy being a student and trying to get my professional career started. About what year does that radio date to?
I'm thinking, I forgot to say that, Lynn, I believe about 1970, a little bit earlier than the 520.
Yeah, see, I was in graduate school, and I couldn't play with radios very much then. It's a spectacular radio, doing a great job. Are you barefoot, or are you going into amplifiers?
Oh, no, I'm just running an old pair of 6 LQ6s about somewhere around 250 watts out.
6 LQ6s are great tubes, aren't they? You can squeeze them on up to 300 watts. Swan did it, and they'll handle it, too. All right, great to hear you, Henry. Henry, nice signal there. Let's see, we heard Ed, didn't we, a while ago, N5JJI. How about it, Ed?
Thank you, Lynn. This is N5JJI, Ed in New Braunfels. I've switched things up a little bit. I'm still running the Kenwood 530S and into a newly relayed Clipperton L. I guess I'm peaking about, maybe a kilowatt when I really jam it, but I don't try to jam it that much. Coax out to an inverted V up about 45 feet, and a no-name microphone, and that's about it. Good evening, everyone. N5JJI.
Absolutely fabulous signal. I couldn't ask for any better, you know. The band is quiet tonight, and the skip must be extending out a little bit because everybody's got a great signal. Anything else for the net, Ed?
No, Lynn, just sit back here and listen to a lot of good-sounding tube-type radios.
Yeah, we got a great collection tonight. All right, let me see. I don't know if GKC, Terry, you still hanging out? You want to talk to us? K5LYN. Okay, maybe not. He came by earlier. WOZ, hey, how about it, Dan?
Yeah, good evening, Lynn, and everybody else on the boat anchors tonight. This is Dan, KWOZ in Houston. Just running the same old stuff I have been. Well, not really. I change every now and then, but running a Kenwood GS 830 that picked up from Sammy as a dead dog, but it's working pretty good now. Driving that with an MC50 microphone, and of course that's all feeding into a Kenwood TL922A and a, what do they call that? Two-band bazooka. What the hell's the name of that company? I can't think of it. Anyway, two-band bazooka up there about 40 feet or so. I was hoping to get this NCX3 on, but I found out I got to do quite a bit more to that receiver on that thing. It's pretty well buggered up, but anyway, it's fun to undo some people's mistakes. You know, that's what makes this thing interesting. That's it from here, Lynn. Everybody is sounding good, except I got an awful lot of hash, if you want to call it that. A lot of noise over here. But we had a tremendous thunder and rainstorm here about a half hour ago, so maybe it'll help clear the air a little bit. K5LYN, KWOZ.
It's amazingly quiet here, Dan. Let me a comment about that radio. It has more highs in it in the audio than a lot of the radios you've been on here lately, and to me, I like it a lot better. You might get some comparisons from other guys because I think it sounds beautiful over.
Oh, okay. Usually the MC50 is a kind of a low-end thing. I know if I put my hand over it like this, usually that builds it up to be even the higher pitch, but I'll just leave it the way it is, I guess.
I could tell a tiny difference, but it's a great sounding radio. Okay, I'm going to take one more check-in. I'm going to go back to AG5XP, Kenneth, because he's got an exciting project he's been working on. I want him to tell us about it. then I'll give it to you, Jay. AUG 5 XP. Hey, Kenneth, you got that HT32 on frequency? How about it? K5LYN.
Yeah, well, I think we got our own frequency close enough. Yeah, my new project, the HT32A, got it going out to matching HT33A. Got it going through a East 2040 tuner with using my TS530 as my receiver. I monitor the output with my finished MP1 meter going through a D104 microphone to make all this thing operate.
Well, you've done beautiful work. You know, the HT32 was state-of-the-art when it came out for helicopters, and the 37 that came out later was a less expensive radio, but still perfectly good one. But you've done some very nice work there.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I saw on the internet where this thing cost about $700 when it was new in 61 or 60. That's quite a bit of money. So it was definitely high-end at the time.
Yeah, pretty radio, too. All right, Kenneth, great to hear you. Anything else for the net this evening?
I just appreciate you letting me in here and enjoy the group. You'll have a good one. AG5 XB clear.
Very nice work on that. Okay, Jay, I'm going to give it to you, and while you and Rusty are talking, I'm going to get over on the cheap and easy SSB for my second shift here. So, KM5QS, carry on, K5LYN.
Okay, Lynn, we'll give you one. Let me see, this is JKM5QS. I'm down here in Alice, Texas, and I'm running a set of Kenwood Twins 599 Delta transmitter and receiver with the speaker and TL922 amplifier, homebrew antenna, and a homebrew antenna tuner, and all that stuff. About 1,400 watts. So, anyway, it might get across the street. Let me go ahead and pick up Paul first. Whiskey 5, forever paying taxes. Go ahead, Paul.
Good evening, Jay and Lynn and everyone. Everyone's sounding good. Seeing some big signals over here tonight, so the band's in pretty good shape where I'm sitting. We're running a 530S Kenwood into a SB200 and into a super mini loop up at 55 foot and a microphone, an MC50. And that's about what we got here, Lynn. I enjoy the net very much, and good to hear you again. Back to net, W5FPT.
Okay, Paul. Well, you're sounding fine down here. No problem. Let me see. Oh, I got sidetracked there. I had to turn something down. Alrighty. Let's see. Anyway, thank you, Paul. WA5MTT. Mike, did I hear you warming up out there? Well, probably not. Okay, now that I got my station under control, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now, please.
Kilo Echo 5 Quebec.
WB Winnie.
Alrighty, that's 3. Let me start with KE5Q.
Yeah, KM5QS on the next. Kilo Echo 5 Quebec. Jim and Plano. Doug, you are booming in here. And we're running the KWM2 into the 3001 and using the Shear 444, and that's going into the Ultimax 8040 antenna, double bazooka. And just appreciate you calling the net. The band sounds pretty good down here. KM5QS. This is KE5Q Plano.
Okay, Jim. Well, as the band gets a little better, I'm sure everything's going to come up good, but you're coming down here pretty good right now, so sounds good as usual. Thank you, sir. We'll see you next week, if not before. Whiskey Bravo, 1 Echo. I think that's Doug.
Yeah, hello, Jay, and the Boat Anchors Net. Well, howdy. Yeah, everybody's sounding really, really nice, as expected. And everybody looks like they're on frequency pretty close. But anyway, I don't know if I'm on or not, but who cares? It's the Boat Anchors Net, right? So that's worth celebrating if you ask me. Well, it's the same old story, but I'm going to go through it like it's all brand new, so pay attention. I'm on a Swan 500. No suffix, just a plain old Swan 500. It's as vanilla gets, and a little help with the Henry Classic X, running 2 3-500s at what is it running about? I don't know, about 3.2 kW correction, kV kilovolts, 3,200 volts. Getting distracted here, and most of our antennas are homebrew, and I need to use that term homebrew more often because that's what's going on. It's coax up to a homebrew 4-to-1 balun that's air cooled. It's not in a container. It's all sealed up tight so the air can flow through the windings, and it's waterproof. And so an inverted B up at 90 feet. So. By the way, the microphone is a Electro Voice 638. That's a Heathkit known microphone, but it's working pretty good with the old Swan. And Jay, I have a want, so let me ask you, do you copy everything so far over?
Oh yeah, if you got any louder, I'd have to pour you a cup of coffee.
Well, hey, I'll be right over. So I'm still looking for a 700 CW or CX Swan transceiver. There's also a 750 Swan transceiver. These are the classic Drake-style front panels. It's not the new one, the black and white plastic front panels. These are the metal front panels, the Swan 750 or the Swan 700 CX or CW. So, and I can be reached on my QRZ page, which is probably best. So if you know how to look me up, it's Whiskey Bravo 1 Echo. And that'll be it, Jay. And thanks for running the net. Thanks for letting me in. So this is WB1E back to net.
All righty. Okay, Doug, of course you're nice and loud as usual, so I think everybody can agree to that. And he's looking for one that might even be a little louder, folks. If anyone out there has knowledge of or possession that they don't want to keep possession of, a Swan 700 CX, a Swan 700 CW, or a Swan 750. Doug would like to talk to you about relieving you of it. I'm sure he'll throw a little money your way, or whatever, trade out in kind or something. Who knows? Whatever. Doug's pretty. When he wants something, he'll go after it. Best way to get a hold of Doug is look up his call sign on QRZ, Whiskey Bravo 1 Echo, WB1E, and get his email off QRZ. That'd be the best way to get a hold of him. That do it, Doug?
Hey, Chase, sure enough, man. Thanks a bunch. 7-3, everyone.
All right. No problem. See you next week. If not before. Probably see you before. Anyway. All right, David, SU. Go ahead.
Good evening, Jay and Lynn and all the rest of the group. This is W5XU. Talking on a R4C, T4XC. I just turned the amplifier on. And an L4B running to an 80-meter dipole running east-west. Up about 50 feet. I'm peaking maybe 400 watts right now. It's an old amplifier, so I don't want to. I would like it to go out when I go out. Don't want to abuse it. These radios were my first dream radio, the R4C and T4XC. The receiver has all of the Sherwood modifications in it that I put in probably around 1996 when I first got these radios used at the Dayton Hamfest. And I have been very lucky to come across the Sherwood filters just recently. So I have 2 more of these sets that I will modify for that. when I first did that in 1996, I'm not quite sure what the date was. But when I first got back on the air and I put these on the air, I worked the CQ Worldwide CW contest one Thanksgiving. It was the Thanksgiving where it was the weekend before Thanksgiving Day. And I used these radios barefoot. And I worked DXCC in one weekend. Of all the stuff that I got around here, TR7s, TR5s, TR4Cs, a couple of Orions, a K3. Well, that's about all I can see without hurting my neck. These are my favorites, and I'm glad to offer these to you on the Boat Ankle Net. Shower a few minutes ago. Didn't last too long, but it certainly helped to keep the dust down and keep the fact that I had to sprinkle so much. God bless you all. Have a good week. Hope to see you next week. W5XU, goodbye.
Okay, David. Good deal. Well, you came up when you turned the amp on, and no problem at all. Yeah, those old Drake Twins are. I had a set of fours way back yonder, and I really did like them. Of course, like everything else, we can't seem to hang on to the good stuff. You did, though, so good on you. Maybe we'll see you next week and or whenever. Thank you, David. All right, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now, please.
Sierra. K0, Sierra Echo Delta.
Okay, I got 3 for sure. Let me see, who was the 4th one? The ending in, oh shucks, the last one. Oh, I'm having trouble pulling him out. Let me run these 3, and then I'll try you before I forget who I got here. Sorry. Whiskey 5 OMR. Go ahead, Jeff.
Shipwreck night on a fine tower with amateur radio. And I'm on the Kenwood, I'm on the Johnson Viking 2 AM set. I'm using the Viking, the CS2000 as a VFO, which keeps me stable here on 3870. And I'm using the dynamic microphone into the 31-band graphic EQ and running that into the front end of the Viking 2. Receiver is the RC74, aka the Helicopter SX70. And we're taking this 100 watts all the way into the SC2060 tuner. Speeding about 85 feet of home-brewed open wire line, which is feeding a full-weight 75-meter loop, also home-brewed. And that's about it from down here. KM5QS and all the boat anchors, I'll be looking forward to this recording.
Okay, Jeff, we'll catch up with you next week or before. Thank you, sir, for checking in. Let's see, I believe the next one was Mike Charlie Sierra. Or anything that sounds like MCS. Well, maybe my hearing is not what I thought it was. I know that SCD is out there. Steve, go ahead.
Oh, good evening, Jay, and all the boat anchors. K0 SCD and Tyler behind the Iron Curtain. And I think the next one was probably W5IS Doug. I came in right after him. And oh, Doug. Anyway, tonight I'm on the Kenwood 520, color 30L1, a dive fan dipole up 40-odd feet. And that's about it from Tyler, Texas. Have fun. Good evening, Jay, and all the boat anchors. K0 SCD.
Oh, okay, Steve. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was Doug. Well, Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Sound good as usual. All right, Doug, your turn.
If I have IS and Jay, I'm running 839. And I'm monitoring it on L220. Controlling it on VFO 230. And I'm watching y'all SCR console. I've got new, modern, old, and whatnot, and MCC microphone, and I am driving a SC1000 and Ultramax dual band bazooka up there. So that's the story here, and everybody's sounding good tonight, and that's about it. 75.
Okay, Doug. Well, I hope everything's going well for you up there. You're sure sounding good, as usual. So I guess we'll catch you next week. There was a station I missed out there a while ago. Try it again.
W5DK.
W5DJ, go ahead.
All right, evening, Jay. Evening, everybody else on the Boat Anchors Net. Name's Don, Whiskey 5 Delta Kilo. And I'm in Spring Branch, north of San Antonio. I'm using the same station I usually check in with. It's a Drake TR4, and I've got an L4 and exercising it for my own enjoyment. And that's running out to a double extended ZEP antenna. I was listening to the other gentleman with all the Drake, and I'm looking at a C4 console, turns everything on and off here. A set of B twins, a set of C twins, and there's a TR4C up there, and some converters and tuners that are Drake. So I got a bunch of stuff, and I just always use the same ones. That makes it easy for me. Too lazy to make everything work. So everybody sounds good. Thanks for running the net, Jay, Lynn, everybody, and I'll get back to you. W5DK.
Okay, Don, good deal. Sounding fine down here, no problem. Let's see, I don't want to try to hog it this evening, so I guess I'll give Rusty a shot at it. WK5R, KM5QS, see if you can round up a few.
Okay, Jay, let me, hello, right there, okay. This is WK5R, and we're on the usual HT37. We are running a little bit different microphone tonight. It is a Shure 444 with a Heil HC 5.1 cartridge in it. And we have the transformer in the base down there, which allows us to switch between high Z and low Z. We are running high Z, and we're driving the homebrew GS35B amplifier. We're running about a kilowatt right now into the fan dipole up there. With that, WV5I. You want to say anything, Dwayne?
Yeah, good evening, Rusty, and everyone on the net. This is Dwayne, the Whiskey Victor 5 India up in Munster in Cook County. And we're on a 32S3 this evening, driving a 30S1 to about a kilowatt. The microphone is an SM3 Collins, and we're using an inverted B antenna, homebrew. The receiver is a 75S3B.
All right, Dwayne. Collins stuff sounds great there. Appreciate you checking in, and I'll get these things hopefully shipped out to you tomorrow, and I'll send you a tracking number when they get it.
All right, that sounds good. And I've got a question. If anyone has experimented with changing resistor it's R101 on a Collins transmitter and how it might affect the microphone performance. I do know that the 32S1 was built with a 1 megohm resistor, and the 32S3 was built with a 100K resistor. And I have talked to people that say that resistor value does change the audio, but it does also depend on what kind of microphone you're using. Since I'm using the SM3, that was the one that was designed for the 32S3, but the microphone is over 50 years old, but the radio has been rebuilt, so it should be fine. I'm just experimenting with different microphones, and that's why I went to high element.
A comment, Rusty?
Yeah, go ahead, Lynn.
Yeah, I've got some information on the audio input of the Collins S line. Let me email it to you, and that may be covered in that. May clear up some things. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. And also for anyone that might be interested, I do have a Drake 1 Alpha receiver, a Drake 1A. That was the first Drake offering for a single sideband receiver. If anyone's interested in purchasing it, I would like to sell it. It has been recapped and has a new fuse block put in it. Everything works fine.
I'll be back in touch, Dwayne.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. That's WV5I. Back to you, Rusty.
All right, Dwayne, and for those that might be interested in that Drake receiver, Dwayne is good on QRZ. I know that because I've been emailing back and forth with him and phone too. All right, who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
November 0, Golf Victor Kilo.
N0, GBK, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. And that's N0, GBK. Thank you for time. We'll get to South Central tonight. And running here tonight at Galaxy GT550. And I got the Magic speaker and DFO with that, and the ESP digital readout on top of that. And running that up into an off-center fit at 540. So just see how the old Galaxy sounds and get off here for 5:30 and that's all refurbed here pretty much. So thanks for letting me jump in there.
All right. Yeah, the Galaxy 550 is sounding good all the way from the Cornhusker State. I am tongue twisted tonight. But anyway, appreciate you checking in for up there. All right, who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net?
Kilo Bob, Kilo Mike.
Was that K5KKM?
Roger.
Go ahead.
Hello to everybody on the net. Everybody sounding good tonight. I'm calling on a Yahoo FT101E tonight. Barefoot. Into off-center fed dipole up about close to 40 feet. And using a standard good to hear all these radios on there tonight. Everybody sounding good. I hope I'm close. Wish everybody a good evening and enjoy the net. Back to you, Russ.
All right, appreciate you checking in with that. The Yaesu FT101 sounds good. It's a little light, but I got everything you said there. All right, who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Who else out there wants to check into the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now. Well, that didn't last long, Lynn. Do you have the cheap and easy up and running? K5LYN, WK5R.
Am I in the right place?
Pretty close. I think this mic sounds pretty good.
Okay. All right. Shall I take it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. This is K5LYN, Lynn in Austin. I've switched radios here. This is a cheap and easy SSB from QST 1956. It was a famous radio in its day, and this is a one that was built in more modern times by KG7TR Mike in Arizona. He did a beautiful job of it. I usually have it paired with a different amplifier, but I have it. I've been doing some reorganizing, so I'm not quite full output here power, but maybe we can make the best of it here. And it's been a great net with wonderful conditions and a lot of interesting radios and a lot of interesting folks. Let's see who else we can talk to about boat anchors tonight. K5LYN on the cheap and easy SSB. Listening on the Drake 2B, over.
WA5IGG.
IGG, Adolph, that you?
Yeah, QSL, Lynn, it's me, over.
Hey, how you doing? Bring us up to date.
Yeah, we're talking on the TR4 with an R4 on the side, and using the Turner Plus 3 microphone homebrew amplifier, so it's kind of the same normal setup, Lynn, over.
Well, it's great to hear you, Adolph. How you doing out there? The drought must be catching up with you guys out there on the farm a little bit.
Yeah, we've been exceptionally dry. We had about a ½ inch of rain in all of July, and so far nothing in August, so, you know, we're awfully dry.
Yeah, I've seen there's a few cornfields here and there, and they look like all the corn's lost this year.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty rough. Of course, we've got pretty good grass. We've been taking care of everything pretty well, so, you know, grass-wise, we're doing just fine, and the cows are doing fine. But, of course, at some point, we're going to need to get that rain, over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm very tired of summer, Adolph. Well, you're sounding good. How you like this cheap and easy SSB homebrew rig?
Oh, it's sounding great, and all these radios are sounding good, so... You know, I've just been listening and kind of enjoying things, and like I said, I've got the R4 on the side with this rig. I just got it kind of retuned. The bandpass needed some work on it, and boy, I'll tell you what, it really sounds good now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a hardcore Drake fan, as you know. All right, Adolph, great to hear from you. Anything else for the net this evening?
No, that's all. I appreciate you being out there, so we'll say 73s to everybody, and... wish everybody well. This is WA5IGG back to net.
Yeah, I hope someday you and I can get together again and have an eyeball QSO. Right now, we probably can't do it, but I'm looking forward to that time. All right, who else for the boat anchors this evening? K5LYN calling and listening.
W5HTR.
HTR, yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning, or good evening, Lynn. Good to hear you on. Good to talk to you. Good to get on the net. Sorry I was late getting started here. The truth is I got all hung up in watching a TV episode of Law and Order. Anyway, I'm talking on... is it my turn to talk, by the way?
Yeah, Fred, talk to us.
Okay. I'm talking on the TR4 again. And little amplifier helps. 2000B, and the mic is Shure 444 Delta, and the antenna is an inverted V with the apex at about 35 feet. That's pretty much the story on the rig. We're on a relatively small city lot here.
Well,
I thought I'd check in, I really enjoyed checking in and listening to the net, a lot of different comments and such. I don't have a whole lot to say this evening. I think I'm trying to lose my voice again. So let me pass it back to you. Is it W5 or K5LYN, W5HTR?
Yeah, it's with a K, Fred. Yeah, I know the problems about the lot. See, I'm in north central Austin. And my 80-meter loop, it totally encircles the property, you know, but it's doing what it needs to do. It's not very high, but it's totally, there's no clear space. It's entirely in trees, but we make the best of it, over.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat. Yeah, mine is in the trees. I just have one large tree. Well, I don't really have any large trees left. I had one tall tree in the back, I guess, but that's about it.
Yeah, we make the best of it. Okay, Fred, anything else for the group this evening?
Not a thing. I appreciate the opportunity to check in and hope everybody's keeping safe and healthy.
Yeah, so far we are. Kind of tired of being around the house, but we're all alive and still on the air. That's the most important thing. All right, who else for the net? K5LYN calling and listening.
Yeah.
Did I hear somebody way down in there trying to talk to us?
Yeah, I think that was Byron.
Rusty, are you hearing them?
Yeah, that's you, Byron. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's me. WA5EX, Bluffdale, Texas. Byron's the handle, if you don't know me. Tonight we're running a Kenwood CS 820S. Barefoot, just barefoot into inverted V, MC50 mic. Lynn, I sent you an email this week, but you didn't respond, so I don't know if I got your right email address.
Well, send it again, K5LYN at .net always works as best I know, Byron.
Oh, I think I sent it to your wife's email. You use that from time to time.
No, I don't. but ARRL is forwarding it to us. But send it again, and we'll get together on it, okay?
Okay, I was basically just asking if Bob ever found his Drake 2B and Q multiplier he was looking for last week. And I have one if he needs one.
Oh, no, I got that, and I replied to you. You didn't get my response?
Yeah, maybe the fault's on my end.
Yeah, I answered that. I don't know. Well, I'll send you my response again,
I'll check
okay?
my email again.
I'm about to double with you. I'll send you my response again.
Okay, I'll look for it.
I don't know why I didn't hear you when you first started talking. I'm hearing you now. Thank you.
TS820 has your name on it if you like it.
Y'all doubled again. I think he was calling me. What'd you say, Byron?
I just said this TS820 has your name on it if you like the way it sounds.
Well, I'm going to call you after the net, and we'll talk about it.
Okie doke.
Alrighty. Thank you, Lynn. We'll go back to you.
Okay, yeah, we're onward through the fog, what we say. All right, who else for the boat anchors? K5LYN calling in to see. Well, I didn't hear anybody. I'll put out one more call and see if anybody needs to talk to me, and we'll pass it around the table one more time. Anybody need to talk to me about anything? K5LYN calling and listening. Over to you, Jay.
Oh, okay. Me again. Alrighty. Let's see. Yep, still working. Oh, that's all right. Anyone else that we haven't talked to yet for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now, please. My goodness. Anyone, anywhere, boat anchor related, or just interested, or you looking for a particular rig or a piece for it? Come on down. I think we've done it. You ready to wrap her up, Lynn?
Yeah, let's give Rusty one more chance.
Yeah, okay. Rusty, let's send it to you, and we'll see if we're through.
Okay, let's see here. Anybody else out there want to check into the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Anybody, anywhere want to check into the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now. Well, I'm like Jay, man. I think we done it.
Works for me. I think it was a great net. 73, K5LYN. Listen out. See you all next week.
All right. Yes, sir. 7-3 to everyone participated. We enjoy it and we appreciate it. We can't do it without you. You know the drill. See you next week. 7-3 KM5QS. To you, Rusty.
All right. Appreciate everybody checking in. There's Jay, myself, Lynn, and Guy, and Jim down here, Rowdy, when he's here. None of us could actually do this net without y'all checking in there. Come on, there we go. Get my hand off that steering wheel. Anyway, we appreciate y'all checking in. We know what it takes to keep these things up and running. All right, with that, this is WK5R, now closing this section of the Boat Anchors Unlimited net and returning this frequency to answer normal and review. My tongue is tangled or tied up tonight.
Hey, Rusty, one last comment for you.
Yes, sir, go ahead, Lynn.
I really enjoy it, the way you're listening to yourself and correcting as you go along. That's the way it was done, by the way, back in the 1950s. And you've continued the tradition, so I think that's a great contribution to the net. K5LYN.
Yeah, I don't overdrive the front end on that old 706 when I cut the, when that relay drops, the coax off of it. So, and I hear it just great in the headphones, so it works pretty good there. I don't like to hear myself sliding off frequency.